hate cold pizza?
It's delicious.
Heat it up.
Like, I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Heat the pizza up.
Well, it depends what's on.
You never ate cold pizza in college. You know, it's never.
You don't have a microwave? You can't put it in there for 10 seconds?
And cold pizza's good the way it is. It's delicious.
People love it.
It's so good.
Well, I think it depends. Like, I don't like mushrooms in general, but like, it depends what toppings on there, because different things, different toppings change. Like cold pepperoni pizza,
Gas.
kind of sucks.
So good.
Like cold
What
pepperoni
is
kinda
going
sucks.
on?
But if you get
man.
cold like barbecue chicken pizza or like that with the onion on it, like
You
that
love
is
barbecue
fantastic.
chicken pizza.
Dude.
I love barbecue chicken. I love pizza. I mean, that's like a look. If and I'll continue to say what I said yesterday, and you can believe what you want. Somebody out there proved to me that a boneless wing is not a trans chicken nugget.
Oh, we're going to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody proved me wrong. Somebody proved me wrong in that. I feel
I
like
will
I'm
say
100%
this.
correct.
I've come around on mushrooms. I've come around on mushrooms.
I've always liked mushrooms.
Not even to the point where I tolerate them now. I like them now.
You know they say your taste buds change every 7 years. Man, I'm 33 years old. I've always hated mushrooms and olives. Like that hasn't changed. Like it's changed a little bit. Like I'll eat some watermelon every now and then. Used to not be able to stand it.
I used to hate collard greens.
Really?
Love 'em.
I used to hate
Now-
coconut.
Ooh,
I love them
I'll
now,
destroy
too.
them.
I
used
need
to
that
hate
to happen
coconut.
with pickles. I need to start loving
that's
pickles.
so weird.
Apparently they're on every
Look, I'm a
sandwich
bread
in
and
the
like
world.
dill. Get away from me.
Yeah, dill
bread and
pickles,
butter.
too.
All
Like
day.
dill pickles to me, it's like unsweet tea. What are you doing?
Okay.
Like you're drinking unsweet tea. Why don't you just drink water? Why are you wasting the tea? I mean, this hit
Pineapples,
Boston back in the
pineapples
Revolution.
and olives do not belong on pizza.
Pineapples,
I
pineapples on
love
olives
black
don't belong on
olives.
anything.
Oh my
Just don't
of
let
course
it
you
be
do.
cold. Don't
of
let it
course
be
you
cold.
do. Of
Heat
course
the
you
thing
do,
up.
David. Of course you do. Hate cold
love
pizza,
cold pizza.
but love black olives.
Love them.
You like licorice? Does anybody here like licorice?
Ugh.
Good. For a second, I was going to
Hard. Get
I was
out.
going to have to legitimately burn this place down. Spring football practice is underway, so we're going to break down LSU, FSU, and Notre Dame. Shohei Ohtani strikes out his Angels teammate Mike Trout as Japan claims the WBC title. Ugh. And David Cohn tells the NHL to get off his lawn. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. Now, we all know there is no offseason when it comes to football, and right now, most college teams are either in spring practice or gearing up for it. The truth is that the spring and the summer is way more important than fall camp can and will ever be. The reason is because the team and the team's personality is actually formed through the blood and the sweat of the spring and the summer. Now, the transfer portal has only increased the need to get guys in during spring, not only to learn the playbook, but to form that cohesion. Now, that isn't to say that there aren't great players that teams get post-spring, but football isn't a sport where you just show up and you're instantly accepted. You have to earn that right on and off the field. Now, the beauty of spring is being able to be around the other guys you're going to go ball with without the game pressure of Saturdays upon you. You form bonds through the grueling heat and conditioning. That's what pays off on 4th and 1. Because you have to understand, when you're watching games during the fall, those big plays, those big stops, those incredible endings and upsets are earned right now, not then. You find out who the true leaders are, and everyone can get excited about game week or the season, but you want men who enjoy the grind of getting there or the process. You want men that get excited not about day 1, but day 6, day 9 and beyond, when your body hurts and your mind's weak. That's when you really find out who the leaders are and who you can count on. Now, we're going to be breaking down spring practices across the country like Oppenheimer broke down the atom. So to all the players out there, especially the young guys, embrace the grind. And for all the fans out there, start getting excited because football season is back. But in reality, we all know it never left. I'm going to bring in my co-host, David Cohn, knows a thing or two about spring practice, former Michigan quarterback. And my brother knows a thing or two about spring break, former Western State Colorado wide receiver, Blaine Crane.
Yes, sir.
Guys, this, whether you're a coach, whether you're a player, if you are involved in the development of the team, we all know that from winter workouts to spring to summer, that is when the wins are accrued.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're waiting to fall camp for everybody to just come together and sing Kumbaya, you're going to be waiting a while, buddy.
You'll be waiting a while. That open right there took me back. I could just see myself on the practice field in the summer in Ann Arbor with all the guys. Oh, not all the memories are positive.
Woo!
You know, double fifths in the summertime conditioning.
You know, can you imagine now though, like if when you were playing or when we were playing, like the transfer portal, if it was the way it was now, how many guys, when it got really, really, really tough, are able to quit and then go somewhere else? It used to be, oh, well, if you quit during conditioning, that coach tells the other coach that you want to transfer somewhere and that other coach finds out, he's not taking you. Now it's totally different.
I would have probably been running home to Georgia somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard, man. It's hard. That's why I want these transfer portal rules tweaked. You know, there has to be some happy medium between not allowing young kids to quit at the first sign of adversity and at the same time not feeling like they're exploited if their head coach or the position coach who recruited them leaves. But in terms of spring practice, yeah, I think back on all those times with the guys, and that's really when your season is made. To your point, you know, in the spring and in the summer, getting to know the offense, all the installations, things like that. It was a good time. It was a tough time.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, Blaine, you basically played next to where the Grinch lived, so I can only imagine how bad conditioning was at that altitude.
Yeah, it's not fun. I remember the first week I got there, and I worked out, tried to stay in shape and all that. I went and ran. I was running across the field. You had to hit insert a condition test. My legs gave out probably about the 5th lap.
Yeah. Tell people how high up you are.
Wasn't tired. And it was the highest elevated place in Colorado.
Yeah.
So you're basically fighting the abominable snowman every 2 weeks. That's what you're doing. Wasn't tired, wasn't breathing heavy or anything like that. My legs just
body don't work.
My legs just quit working. It was amazing until this day. But kind of what you said, this is where you build the chemistry on when you get on the field, especially on Saturdays, where you don't have to think, you just react. Yeah. Right? You know especially from a receiver to quarterback standpoint, you already know what the other guy is doing and what he's thinking because you've repped it so many times, and it starts here. It's where you build the foundation. I'm so ready for football.
Yeah.
I remember Coach Carr told us one time when I was at Michigan, he said, you guys are built differently. He said it wasn't that long ago that guys got to go home for the summer. You know, you have a spring practice and everyone makes sure you're working out when you go back to your hometowns and stuff like that. But you report for fall camp and we have a football season and we get on with it. It wasn't even that long ago that's how kind of the NFL worked too, you know. He said, you guys are built differently. You're here 365 days a year and this is how you have to be if you want to beat your biggest rivals, if you want to win championships. And that was it, man. We were there.
Yeah, if you want the machine to work, you got to put something in it. In the comments, after you hit that subscribe button and like button, if you got a spring practice story, let us know. But before we get to the Booster Club, we talk about how hard spring practice is. Let me give you something that's unbelievably easy because getting propane tanks and doing things like that, having to go to the store and handle it, what if there was a service that just brought your tank to your door? It was unbelievably easy, and you didn't have to have a long-term commitment or a subscription. You could just live in a certain area and get it dropped off. Well, our friends over at Cinch have totally cracked the code. Now, we all know March Madness has officially ruined everyone's brackets, including mine. Thanks, Arizona. And the last thing you need is to run out of propane on your grill while you're cooking up some comfort food during the games. All right, maybe delicious pork belly tacos like DC made over there the other week. That's why you need Cinch, C-Y-N-C-H. And you need to go online to cinch.com or download their app to order because new customers can get their first tank exchange for just $10 with promo code BOOSTER, B-O-O-S-T-E-R. Go to cinch.com, that's C-Y-N-C-H.com, or download the Cinch app and use promo code BOOSTER to get your first tank exchange for just $10. All right, go check that out right now. Use that code. It's a limited time offer, and you must live within a Cinch service area to redeem it. So either you do or you're about to move. They deliver on your schedule, like I said. And again, no long-term commitment, no subscription, and delivery is completely contactless. People that listen to the show, I'm guessing y'all grill a lot because y'all love sports like we do, and that's a real thing. Ooh. So make it easier, be more efficient, right? What's the old saying? Work smarter, not harder. Cinch makes it unbelievable.
Cinch,
easy.
baby. What should we do next?
Oh, man, what are you feeling?
It's getting...
The ribs are always fire.
The ribs
you make are always fire.
I usually make those on the charcoal grill.
What
you showed me what we should do next.
Oh, the beef flakes. That's like a 20-hour cook.
Wait, what?
We dedicated or not?
Why did I not
Tony?
know that?
We dedicated or not?
I don't like learning about things live on the show.
Well, before the pork belly thing, I showed him a couple beef shanks that I was gonna.
Oh, brother!
And then I realized it was a 20-hour cook. And I was like, you know what? No, let's go pork belly. Let's go with the 4-hour. And then by that time, you came over and we had the pork belly tacos and everything was gravy.
This beef shank situation.
20-hour cook.
Reed asked me if we could do a crawfish boil soon.
Well, done.
Yeah. No, she legitimately asked me that.
I mean,
she went
to do it at the house?
That's what the stench tank is for,
like
brother.
a couple weeks ago, she just destroyed some crawfish. Done a golf board.
The crawfish, I know oysters are coming out of season now that it's getting warmer.
Yeah.
I'll eat them year round.
Really.
Well, it depends on where you get it.
It totally depends on where you get it. Like that's why you get spoiled living in Mobile like we did, because it's like,
Savannah.
it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Savannah,
It's like
bread, off the boat.
It's like bread, milk, eggs, oysters.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
exactly right. God, oysters and cocktails.
All right, so crawfish next then.
Yeah, I think we do that next. What's going on in the Booster Club?
All right, let's get into it. First, obviously the poll is going to be which is better, cold pizza or reheated
I
pizza.
can't.
I like that.
I don't know if I'm going to win that, but you know how that goes. Stephen Moore says barbecue beef shank is also known as Thor's hammer.
Oh, wow.
That's why you have to smoke it for 20 hours.
Yeah, let's go to Midnight Crane to Georgia. He says, spring conditioning was fun. Oh, God bless your soul. Because I was actually better at distance running than a lot of our high schoolers. First stringers that told me I should have done cross country. Instead, I'll never understand cross country in my life.
Yeah, look, I love sports more than anybody, but I don't, like, the first question we always asked was, what do you think we have to do for conditioning? Like, if you run cross country, like, your conditioning.
That's your sport.
Like, that's what are you doing? We're just going to run for a while. But that's why, like, I told you guys I'm on my Apocalypto diet.
Yes.
I told you about that?
Apocalypto.
It's basically where you just don't eat and run around all the time. And I've done it for like a week, and it's worked.
You're looking good.
Dude, I'm feeling amazing.
And that's a great movie.
You look great, man.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Let's go to Jay. What's up, Jay? First time jumping in the live show. Welcome to it, Jay. He says, I'm going to a CU spring game, Colorado. How do you think Coach Prime is doing in recruiting?
Was that LeBlanc?
No.
Okay.
Cottle. Jay Cottle.
Oh, nice. How's he doing in recruiting? I think he's doing fine. I mean, I know they got that 3-star quarterback the other day. Connor Daly, I think's his name. Look, I'm not worried about Deion Sanders in recruiting. Deion Sanders could go coach at Sesame Street, and they'd be beating Alabama within the next 3 to 4 years. My thing is the structure around it, being in the Power 5, because we talked about Nick Saban yesterday. He's one of the best at understanding the full scope of the program. Recruiting is the lifeblood of the program. Development is the lifeblood of the program. There are very few pillars that you have to dominate to be able to dominate. Will Deion be able to dominate the pillars that aren't because of the cachet of his name? That's what we're waiting to find out. Because in the HBCU, he was playing with a little bit of a bigger stacked deck than everybody else. Now the talent's going to be more spread out. You're going to have to win in more ways. Not saying they just out-talented people. I do like the staff you put around them. I mean, Sean Lewis coming from Kent State as a head coach. Look, great coaches don't have to be schematical wizards. All right, you have to be able to recruit, and you have to know how to hire and who to hire. If you can do those things, you can be it's like being a CEO. All right, you don't got to do everything the branch manager does. You just have to hire a damn good branch manager. That's what you have to do. So that's what we'll find out about Deion. Yeah, Michael Scott. They'll win.
All right, let's go to Garrett Henson. What's up, Garrett? He says, can I get your thoughts on the future of Texas Tech football?
Oh, I thought you were just talking about the future in general. I was like, I'm worried. Now, for Texas Tech football, look, we're getting Joey McGuire on the show. I'm a big Joey McGuire guy. He's my favorite McGuire since Mark. When you watch the offense they run, I love that. It's Tennessee style, right? It's kind of in that same vein. I think Texas Tech, with Texas and Oklahoma, and I'll say this again, and this isn't a crazy take, like this isn't like a crazy hot take. There's a vacuum that is going to be created, even with the new teams that are going into the Big 12 once Texas and Oklahoma leave. With the momentum Texas Tech has, with Joey McGuire's ability to understand how to recruit the state, he knows the coaches in the state, he's a great fit in Lubbock, he understands what the fan base wants out of that football team. I think Texas Tech is going to be a perennial top 3 team in the Big 12 for as long as the Big 12 is around. And I would not be shocked when this thing goes to 12 if Texas Tech makes the playoff in the first year it's a 12-teamer. Yeah. Would not be shocked at all.
It's always nice to live in a state where if you recruit that area well, you can have success.
Yeah.
Texas, prime time example.
Well, there's people, and I get it to a certain extent. I recruited the state. But people say, oh, well, Texas players, that they're too polished when they come out. Like there's not that since they play in these big stadiums, they have these programs. They're maxed out when they come out of high school. Well, number one, I feel like that's kind of, it doesn't make any sense. Like maybe some of them are, but not all of them. What do you think? Just because they're in the state of Texas and people take high school football seriously, they're all of a sudden maxed out. You been to Georgia? You seen that? You been to Alabama? You seen any of that? Been in some parts of California?
I just watched Matt Stafford from Island Park win a Super Bowl.
Where they care about it, like maxed out. You know what? I want my player maxed out, and then I'm gonna show him the next level. I want him to get everything out of the high school level, the best weight room, understanding the exercises, understanding conditioning, being in a scheme that makes sense, understanding the grind and the routine of it, and not being overwhelmed by a lot of people in the stands. Isn't that the closest you can get to experience without actually experiencing?
But wasn't the knock on Alabama players they were too beat up once they got out of college to get in the NFL?
No, but I'm not talking about NFL. I'm talking about high school.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general. That was the only knock. I haven't heard anything about Texas players.
No, look.
Ask
How many high school coaches listening to this show, I know there's a bunch of them, how many times have you heard a college guy say, or if you're a college coach, heard him say, man, just recruiting the state of Texas, most of the time those kids are just maxed out when you get them. I heard it all the time. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like that's a myth. Like it's get Mythbusters in here.
Let's go to Matty Ice, 1994, also known as Nighthawk.
Yes.
He says, I know David Cohn is going to be happy this morning. His Michigan Wolverines just stole a top recruit in Ohio from the Ohio State University.
Yeah, I think the number 8 recruit in the state, something like that. Look, it's always good to go south of the border and pick up some Ohio recruits. We got Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Legally, yeah. Of course. Of course. Goes without saying.
Of course.
Desmond Howard.
Yeah, don't go to a burger joint. They're going to get you.
Yeah, no. Don't go to Little Brown Jug and get a hamburger. The NCAA will investigate you.
For sure.
Yeah, big time recruit.
You're going to hell. Now, Michigan's got all the momentum right now. And look, it's not like Ohio State and Michigan both aren't going to finish with elite recruiting classes. Ohio State isn't hurting in recruiting. But I tell you what, they lose 3 in a row, Cone, and you're coming to the big house this year?
There's no way. There's no shot.
Keep that energy. I like
no
that.
Shot.
Michigan undefeated season.
No, it's been a good run.
Yeah,
it's been a great
I don't know if y'all ever lose again.
I don't think y'all will.
I do want to say we're doing call-ins today. Remember, when you call in, give us your call sign. We've already had some people give us their call sign. Once a call sign's taken, it is taken forever. Somebody messaged me and said they wanted theirs to be Ghost Rider. They said they're going to call in, which
it's available.
It's available. So, I mean, that's a big one. You call 1-855-236-3228. We are going to open those calls up at 8:15 a.m. Eastern. That's 7:15 a.m. Central and 6:15 Narnian time. So, a couple more for the Booster Club. Let's get to 5 big questions.
All right, Sean Pennison wants to know who will be the best college football team out of Texas next year.
Woo! Give me Texas. Hey, give me Texas.
The best college football team?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Give me Texas. I got to see. Jimbo Fisher said he wasn't.
I just can't go with Texas A&M.
I can't.
They let me down
This was the year, though.
No, hold on. Hold on. Here's what I got to see. Before I can really say this, because one morning I'll wake up, I'll be feeling really good about this Jimbo Fisher, Bobby Petrino situation. And then Jimbo Fisher comes out and says, well, I don't know if I'm going to give up play calling totally. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not saying you can't call any of the plays. All right. But at some point, Jimbo, you're going to have to do like Elsa from Frozen and let this thing go a little bit, man. You got to let it go. Bobby Petrino is good at one thing. Not people skills. It's not Sudoku. It's offense.
Yeah.
Definitely not motorcycles or hiding volleyball girlfriends. But you have got to let Bobby Petrino cook. All right? It's like Woody from Toy Story says, hold up, let him cook.
Let him cook.
All right? Let him cook. Don't touch it. All right? When it comes to hiring an OC, when you said you're going to relinquish the play calling, it's like Oh Boy's drum set from Step Brothers. It's the truth. Don't touch it, man. Don't touch it. And I know Cops doesn't come on until 4.
All right, let's go to Shacker Jack. He wants to know,
where's Shacker Jack been, man? Where the hell you been? Where you been? All right, go ahead.
All right. Do y'all think Coach Freeze and company will go fast this year? A little up-tempo offense from Coach Freeze at Auburn?
Fast?
Hit the pedal?
Fast and turn left, baby. Turning left.
Freaking naughty.
Look, Philip Montgomery's the OC. I think you're going to have multiple tempos from Auburn. They're still going to work that three surface method that he wants to do. You're going to get your RPOs. If Robbie Ashford can just throw it good enough, and when you make good decisions, guys are more open. It's amazing how much your accuracy increases when you make good decisions. Those things go hand in hand. They're not mutually exclusive. But I think if you're expecting Tennessee fast, or if you're expecting Texas Tech fast, you're not going to get that across the board. He's going to mix tempos, which is what I like. It's like a NASCAR race. We go fast, then we go slow, then we go a little faster, then we go a little slower, then we pit, then we go slower. It's like a NASCAR race. It's like a circle. It never ends.
All right, I do not believe in any of the quarterbacks in Auburn's quarterback room. I can say that with confidence. Let's go to Sister Riggs. Just how prepared are those 4 new teams coming into the Big 12?
I mean, again, it's just like a kid coming out of high school, like we were talking about. You don't get the experience of it till you get the experience of it. But I will say, your first year in's not a terrible thing. You can sneak people. We see this happen all the time because, number one, they're not used to playing you. They're going to break down the film. They're going to know what you like, what tendencies you have out of 12 personnel, 13 personnel. What do you do in the red zone? What are your specials? What's your pass to run ratio in big downs, things like that, 3rd and 5 and below. But they haven't called a game against you in real life. And it's one thing when you start play. It's one thing to watch a guy play Madden. It's another thing to play Madden against them. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the best way I can describe it because everybody hadn't called plays during a game. So you can sneak people. There's tons of examples of new head coaches coming to places of schools that have been in that conference forever and making a big run in their first year and then fizzling off because everybody catches up to them. So it's like a pitcher in the major leagues. You got to keep evolving, keep expanding your bag so they don't pin you down and know exactly what's coming and where it's coming.
All right, let's go to head people keeper Blaine. What's up? He says, Matt Rule had them boys pushing sleds in the snow for winter conditioning. How are we feeling about Nebraska this upcoming year?
I've said it multiple times. If I wanted somebody to fix my old car up, to not make it run like it used to, it's never going to run like it used to. It's never going to be as popular as it used to, but it's still going to get me from point A to point B. That's Matt Rule. All right? Is Matt Rule going to win a national championship at Nebraska? No. Is he going to get Nebraska back to being respectable and not being laughed at because they're the big power that is now, nothing, like the NCAA is going to be here in a couple years? It'll get him out of the rut. I don't think you're going to get the golden ticket to the chocolate factory, but you'll be able to walk outside the house and not sleep in the bed with all 8 of those people.
All right, let's go to Sister Riggs with another one. She wants to know, isn't BYU as an independent somewhat more prepared this year than recent year? They've been playing some of these big teams. How are we feeling about BYU this upcoming year?
Well, again, they're all 30 years old. I mean, if anybody can handle it, it's them. I mean, most kids are worried about, getting to practice and where they're going to go out this weekend. BYU is worried about the mortgage, the electricity bill, and how the economy's doing. So I think BYU's, going to be able to adjust better than just about anybody. But let's get to 5 big questions, Coney.
Okay, so you don't want to go over these teams?
Oh, let's go to the teams. I'm tripping. Let me get to...
I thought we were going to do...
Let's do the spring break thing first. You're right. You want to start?
Spring practice.
Spring practice.
Yes. No, who do you guys have?
I got Florida State, man.
I have... He went with Florida State, so I was like, why wouldn't I go with LSU? You want me to start first?
Yeah, let's see what matchup. That's the best week one matchup.
The big thing with me is like, let's go and get this done. What are they bringing back? All right, that's a huge thing, right? You're bringing back almost all your coaches other than your special teams coordinator, and that's okay because it could get much worse in special teams than it was last year. You bring back not only your head coach, your OC, your quarterback, and Jaden Daniels is your only team in the SEC that's going to bring that back, which is huge. You bring back Mason Taylor, who Mason Smith, we all remember who got hurt in the Florida State game. I mean, you did lose some pieces. You lost Keyshawn Butte, receiver, who really didn't do much that year, but you do bring back Malik Neighbors. But the big question when it comes to LSU, someone is that cornerback room, right? You lost a lot of secondary pieces. But you did get Devin Harris from A&M, who's a 5-star cornerback who played, I think he had almost 40 tackles against A&M. He's going to transfer coming. You lose Jay Ward, which is a big piece of safety, but you bring back the chosen one in Harold Perkins. Let's look at the offensive line if you're LSU. You started 2 freshman tackles last year. Obviously, you had some struggles at center, but they got fixed halfway through the year. You bring back your entire offensive line unit, which is going to be huge for LSU. Obviously, if you look at LSU, you're going to skill position-wise, on the offensive side of the ball, you're going to be phenomenal because they are just walking around in packs in the state of Louisiana, and they always have a fence around that state. But the big thing, they pulled 4 defensive linemen out of the portal this year, which is huge for LSU after they lose Ali Gay and all these guys. Right now, the positions and kind of the matchups you're looking for in spring, I go back to it, it's the secondary. I mean, if you really look at it, a name that I'm watching right now is Sage Ryan.
Yeah.
A kid that I've heard he's having a good spring so far. He played in 4 games last year, kind of got hampered due to injury, but I think he's going to be a big piece moving forward. But if you're LSU, a lot of positive momentum. Mason Smith right now hasn't done anything contact-wise in spring, which is understandable. I don't know if he will end up doing that. Right now, I'm trying to protect that kid as much as I can. So if you're an LSU fan, right now, spring's going great. No big injuries like that. You're having Brian Kelly, I believe it's 16 practices. You're having Brian Kelly max out the entire spring, which is what you want. You won 10 games last year with a huge win over Alabama. So if you're LSU, it wasn't a fluke. I know 3 guys right now who sat here on this set after that Florida State game and said to be patient.
Yep.
Right? Said to be patient. You were patient. Ended up winning 10 games. I really think LSU, big week 1 matchup against Florida State, probably might be one of the best games in the season. But right now, if you're LSU, a lot of things looking up because you are fixing pieces. Always a big question was the LSU offensive line. You're bringing back that entire unit.
Well, when I look at these opening games, these huge ones, I call them insurance games. Because if you win it, you just bought yourself some insurance. You can lose one maybe that you shouldn't have lost, or lose one against an Alabama on the road. And at the end, when the committee's looking at it, they go, man, they beat Florida State, though, week 1. It almost buys you a game worth of insurance. And then if you lose it, it's insurance in a way of, look, it's a loss, but damn, that's a good loss. If Florida State does what they're supposed to do.
Let's get Mason Smith back. It's going to be huge.
Yeah,
the impact he had already in the Florida State game up front on the defensive line. I know you lost one of your tight ends, but you do return Mason Taylor, he was a young, I believe he was a freshman playing at
Jason Taylor's kid.
Yeah, true freshman playing at tight end. Wasn't the most physical guy, but obviously going to put on weight. And I think he's going to end up being a big piece for them. You bring back your leading receiver. Malik Neighbors, who's an absolute dog, is an NFL guy.
Yeah, well, on third down, it wasn't Keyshawn Boutte that LSU was going to.
So you brought back the pieces you need to be successful next year. And at the end of the day, man, it's the SEC. Who are you without a quarterback? And you're going to have one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and speaking of Florida State, what we're going to do is we're going to hit, if you notice, he's doing Notre Dame, he's doing LSU, I'm doing FSU, that's ACC, SEC, and Independent. We're going to go one from each different conference, try and do that as much as possible to get you guys ready for the summer, and then obviously in the fall when it hits. Florida State, and this is a team that I've talked about, I think is going to make the college football playoff. Right now, I'm leaning that they're going to win the national championship. I think it's a year of turnover. When you look at the quarterback position, when you look at Alabama, when you look at Georgia, when you look at Clemson, with Klubnik being the starter for the first time there. So I think FSU returning Jordan Travis at quarterback, FSU returning Trey Benson at running back, FSU returning Johnny Wilson, who I think is the best deep threat in the country, who's 6'7", is going up to go get it at any point in time. He's an automatic bracket, and you're returning experience. But again, where do I say the game is won and lost? Right? It's won up front. FSU's offensive line got better and better throughout the season. Just kept getting better and better. When you look at the numbers at the end and what they return, they should have one of the best run games with an experienced running back in Trey Benson, with a quarterback that is a legitimate threat to run the ball, which we all know Jordan Travis and Jaden Daniels are two of the scariest quarterbacks when they tuck the ball and run it in the country, and they're going to meet week 1. Now on the defensive side, Jared Verse, the transfer they got that they thought was going pro, who I think is going to be a top 10 pick next year, came back. All right, this kid is a freak on the defensive line, whether he's front side, whether he's back side, whether they put him in the middle, he can do it all. Rush the passer, he's really good against the run. DJ Lundy at linebacker and defensive tackle Fabian Lovett. He's a guy, I think, in my opinion, when you look at Florida State, they will be the best they've been in a long time on the offensive line and the defensive line. And you mix that with the experience and the skill position, especially quarterback, with the continuity that they've had on the staff with Mike Norvell grabbing that momentum and running with it last year, moving into this year, I think it's huge. But when you look at newcomers, we always talk about, right, the teams that are able to win this thing, they don't build the whole ship out of the transfer portal. They just plug the leaks in the boat with it at certain places. You got Frentrell Cypress, the Virginia transfer at corner, who I think is going to be the new leader of this secondary. Now, I know it was a safety last year who was the leader. I think Frentrell has a chance to be this lockdown corner that we're used to seeing Florida State have, a guy that can play physical, a guy that's good in zone, he's good in man, does a really good job with his eyes. And then Western Michigan transfer, defensive tackle Braden Fisk, guys, 148 total tackles, a guy that can do a lot of things. I love the way he plays with his hands. And when you're trying to displace offensive linemen, when you're trying to work your leverage and then re-leverage yourself if you get knocked out, it comes down to hand play. It's hand-to-hand combat. That's why they call it that. Can't wait to watch that kid play at FSU. And then Jaheim Bell, the South Carolina transfer, the Swiss Army knife. You can do anything with this guy. He can run it. He can catch it. He can sell hot dogs and do commercials. Jaheim Bell leaving South Carolina shocked me because I thought if he was going to leave South Carolina, it was because he was going pro. But in this style of offense with Jordan Travis, in the RPO game where you can line Jaheim up in the backfield, you can line him in the hip, you can line him in the slot, you can line him outside, you can do everything with him, man. He's an etch-a-sketch. Just shake it up and draw something new. And then Micah Pittman, the Oregon transfer in the slot, all right? I know he's hurt, all right, and it's questionable now if he's going to be able to even return during the season. But if they're able to get him at the slot, this FSU offense is about as explosive as it's been in that I can remember, and you grew up a Florida State fan.
I did.
So you'll know more than me when it comes to it. But I'm telling you guys right now, I'm leaning toward these Jokers winning the national championship. I really am. It's when you really dive into Florida State, and then you look at the ACC this year. Who scares you in the ACC the most? It's not. Well, outside of Florida State, yeah, it's Clemson. But to me, I'd much rather play Clemson than Florida State this year.
Well, I mean, if there was a team, I would just say North Carolina because who they have a quarterback.
The defense.
Drake May. Drake May. at the end of the day, they're going to put up points. Obviously, their defense is, hot dog water. We always know that. But Drake May at quarterback is always something to be afraid of, in my opinion.
No.
Well, Notre Dame is kind of ACC adjacent, I guess. They kind of want to be affiliated. But I'm very intrigued by Notre Dame. When Brian Kelly left for LSU, those players wanted Marcus Freeman to be the head coach, and they got their wish. Immediately, he hit the ground on the recruiting trail. They started 0-2. They lost to the Buckeyes. Then you have a tough loss to Marshall. People started asking a lot of questions. But look, Notre Dame came back last year. They beat Clemson, which was a huge win for them. They beat South Carolina in the bowl game. They had a win over North Carolina, we were just talking about. And what is it you need? You have to have an elite playmaker. You really do. And last year, Notre Dame not only did not have an elite playmaker at quarterback, they also didn't have quarterback depth. Well, what did they add? They went out and added the #1 quarterback in the transfer portal in Sam Hartman from Wake Forest. Most touchdown passes in ACC history with 110. Second most yardage in ACC history. There's a lot of questions about whether Sam Hartman is just a system quarterback and was he just running that slow mesh RPO game at Wake Forest. To be honest with you, I think that he's gonna go and have even a better season at Notre Dame, to be honest, to be able to be a drop back passer and to work under some more pro-style offenses. Now, they lose Tommy Rees as the offensive coordinator to Alabama, but they bring in 2 different play callers. Gerard Parker was the play caller at West Virginia. They also bring in Cincinnati's play caller from last year to be the quarterback coach. So that's going to be interesting. And also Tyler Buckner, who was the backup or who was the quarterback last year until he got hurt in game 2, did not transfer. That to me is huge because that's going to provide some depth behind Sam Hartman, and he was a top 11 quarterback, I think. In the
he can sure as hell run.
Elite mobility, and he can now learn under a guy who's older like Sam Hartman. Now, C.J. Carr, Lloyd Carr's grandson, he won't enter campus until 2024, I believe. And how he got out of Ann Arbor, I'm still not sure because he's from Saline. But they have quarterback depth, which is great. And then to the running back position with Audric Estime and Logan Diggs, I think this could be a top 5 running back tandem in the country. The way they run, downhill, physical, you really saw the identity that Marcus Freeman wants to have on offense, which I didn't really know. I didn't know what they were going to do. Are they going to be more of an RPO type team, spread it out? No, you saw they want big offensive linemen. They want to run it downhill, and then off that play action game is where I think Sam Hartman's going to be able to have a lot of success. So to the offensive line, they're losing 2 very experienced guard. They were young at tackle last season, but they were experienced at guard. Now you're losing 2 multi-year starters at guard, but you have elite experience at the tackle position, maybe even a preseason All-American at left tackle, and all of the guys who are going to fill in on the offensive line at least have starter experience and they have game experience. So I think the offensive side of the ball is going to be very interesting. What are they going to do at wide receiver, and how do you replace a talent like Mayer at tight end, Michael Mayer? That's what I'm really interested to see.
Yeah, no, and talking about the receiver questions and having Sam Hartman, which, last year, let's be honest, Notre Dame was lining up and running it down people's throat when they knew they were running it.
Exactly.
Because it was the only move they had.
Yes.
You get a guy in Sam Hartman who can make your receiver room a lot better just by being there. Pre-snap, he can make you better. We talk about balance offensively. I don't care what type of system you run. Notre Dame was imbalanced last year, and it cost them. How do you lose to Marshall? How do you lose some of these teams? Well, you become predictable. Texas A&M, same thing with App State, can't throw the ball. So when you add a guy like Sam Hartman, and people say, oh, the slow mesh RPO, how's he going to adjust? Well, Cone, you know this better than anybody. It's not like you're sitting there staring at the running back the whole time during the slow mesh RPO. Sam Hartman is looking at the areas he's supposed to look at. He's understanding the safety rotations. It isn't like he's just going to be shocked. Now, it's probably going to be easier for him because he can sit in the pocket and move instead of having to tuck the ball in and then turn and square his shoulders and throw the ball. So I think Sam Hartman was a huge add for him. I think he was the #1 quarterback in the transfer portal. And not having Tommy Rees, look, Again, Tommy Rees, I think, is going to be fine at Bama. I think he's going to bring them back to being a little bit more of a smash mouth, even though it's going to be a tandem situation there with who they brought in. But Notre Dame, man, it's a fascinating team.
Yeah, and on the defensive side of the ball, they're losing an All-American at tackle, like career sacks leader. They're having to replace some stuff at DN. Basically, interior lineman, I think, is going to be a question on defense. But they return a lot of starters in the secondary, including safety DJ Brown, who's returning for his 6th year, which is a new thing for us in the COVID era here. That's some big-time experience returning in the secondary, and Marcus Freeman's a defensive guy. So, I don't know, I'm just very intrigued by Notre Dame right now because I think if Marcus Freeman can take that next step with an elite quarterback, that's one of the things that we've seen, especially throughout the Brian Kelly era, is whenever Notre Dame was getting outplayed, they were getting outplayed at the quarterback position as well. We always talk about, from 1 through 85 on scholarship, Notre Dame just wasn't as big as Alabama, not as big as some of these other SEC schools, but also the quarterback position. They were getting outplayed. So how does Sam Hartman come in? How does he fit into that system? I'm interested to see.
I am too, and it's really tough trying to plan how to attack people when you don't trust the quarterback to be able to throw the ball consistently. And it's also tough to plan a wedding. Believe me, I know it better than anyone. All right, and this is from 100% from personal experience. We're getting married in May. We've all seen our friends and family members have to go through it, and it's often intimidating and stressful. But finding the perfect suit, guys, it shouldn't be. We once again cracked the code. I can't believe it. Indochino, our friends over there, make it unbelievably easy to get a fully customizable suit right from home. You don't want to wear just any suit on your big day, all right? This isn't the 10-year high school reunion. Deep down, does anybody care? This is your wedding day, all right? With dozens of high thread count fabrics, patterns, and colors to choose from, Indochino helps you design a perfect suit perfectly tailored to your body and your personality. Ordered everything that I needed. It was all there, plus the accessories for the wedding. So we're all locked and loaded there. I was unbelievably impressed with how I was able to customize it to myself. I don't know, it's just like anything, right? It's like grandma's old recipe. Just tastes better because that's hers. It's suited just for you. She knows what you like. That's how Indochino is with their suits. They also give you an option to book an appointment at a showroom. Okay, so it's you don't, virtual, go into the showroom, you've got all the options. So when planning your wedding, get a suit as unique as you with Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use our code BOOSTER to get 10% off any purchase of $399 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com. Use that promo code BOOSTER. I tell you what, you got to feel sweet in a suit, man.
Hey, look good, play good.
Look good, play good, get married good.
What a time for Indochino to come on with the kid about to get married here, Blaine.
Timing's everything, man.
The Matrix.
Timing's everything.
100% the Matrix.
Get that suit.
Speaking of timing, we got phone calls here in 8 minutes. Remember, drop that call sign. You call 1-855-236-3228. No, we're not personal injury lawyers, but personally, we won't injure your lawyer either. What are we going from the Booster Club?
All right, let's go to CB Dog 4. He wants to know, is this third iteration of Sark's offense at Bama poised to have a major drop-off from the extremely high-level performance since Jalen Hurts started at Alabama? So obviously,
third iteration of Sark's offense,
yes. Well, I think he meant Texas.
Okay. I'm going to assume you meant Texas. Do I think it's going to be better? It's tough for me to sit here and look you in the eyes and say an offense that loses Bijan Robinson is going to be better. It's hard for me to say that. But you had a young offensive line that is now a year older, that is a year more experienced, that understands what they're going up against more, that played against Alabama in a tight game, that's played in big games at home and on the road. You return a quarterback in Quinn Ewers that I think realizes he's not there yet. Cut the mullet, fix my footwork, let's get breaded. He's trying to be Joey B. He'll never be, but he's trying to be. My biggest thing is when I look at Texas, skill position-wise, all right, outside of quarterback, do you scare me? Because I know Texas, this isn't just about winning the Big 12 or beating Oklahoma. All right, they want to go to the playoff. All right, they want the bag. So it's like Bilo from Borat. Well, they look at him, they say all the time, you never get this.
You never got it.
Never get this. But one day Sark hopes that Bilo, a la Quinn, can break cage. And they get this.
And we saw a small little taste in that first half against Alabama, boys. He had it going.
He really
had
did.
it working. Now can you do it for a whole season?
In his Birkin bag until they Marcel Darius'd him.
All right, let's go to, I believe it's Shaker Jack. I don't know why I said Shaker Jack. It's Shaker Jack. $5 donation. He says, early morning start. Time to get me going, boys. WDE.
Yeah. Look, I'll get you going in the morning.
All right, let's go.
Black Rifle.
Let's go to Travis Elrod. He's saying Houston will win the conference first. Go Cougs. Out of all the new teams coming in, which team will win it first?
I'm going to say Central Florida.
Ooh,
I think Central Florida has a little bit of a head start.
I think it's either UCF or Houston. I just look
Cincinnati.
at that Houston. No. I think Cincinnati had that great team they put together with Sauce and Desmond Ridder and those guys. Now Luke Fickell's gone.
Yeah.
I think you're back to Cincinnati. I think this is, again, sorry. This is, what's that show on ABC? This Is Us? Like, you're back to This Is Us. I just hope y'all win the NIT game tonight.
I think they'll keep being good, but Gus Malzahn has a little bit of a head start now with Luke Fickell leaving Cincinnati. I don't know. You guys followed Gus Malzahn for a long time.
Yeah, don't ask me. You're going to know the answer. Hashtag I don't believe.
Inside zone.
Yeah, I don't believe. It's
Inside
a bubble.
Zone. Inside zone are the bubble off of it.
All right, AJ Adams, he says, yo, Booster Club, level 37 today. Happy birthday, AJ.
Congrats, man.
Congrats.
Happy birthday. Let's go to True77IL1745, also known as a robot.
Favorites.
He's just saying, are you insane? All right, FSU, yes, they will win the ACC, but that's because the ACC is weaker than it's been in years. They will not win a playoff game, no matter who it is.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger. You want to bet on that?
I mean, the thing about me is, one, FSU's so deep this year and they have a really good quarterback, but let's look around in the country.
That's my whole point.
Who, like Georgia, starting quarterback's gone.
Yeah,
starting
that's my
quarterback's gone.
whole reason
Michigan
behind this.
should be afraid.
Yeah, look, if we're handing out championships to other conferences outside the SEC, let's start with other schools first, Michigan won,
Guys, you give, if FSU plays Michigan in the Natty, David's going to be conflicted. He's going to be like one of those moms
no conflict.
who's got a son on each team.
No conflict. That allegiance ended.
That did?
No scholarship,
Dead?
No allegiance.
Yeah.
No
Boy,
scholarship.
If they would have
no
made the
allegiance.
NCAA tournament, Papa Cone definitely wouldn't have picked.
Oh, man, no. His bracket's still going.
And he probably would have been right. His bracket's the best one.
Let's go to Bradley Cogdill. He says, South Carolina's returning Spencer Rattler. Hopefully he's a QB from the last few games and not the one from the first 10.
Yeah, a lot of momentum to end the year. And when you were making that point about what they returned, you were talking about a collection of coaches in certain positions, not just quarterbacks. I want to get that confused. Mm-hmm. Spencer Rattler, look, you're going to get Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. Who's it going to be?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be? Because, you watched last year, he's like the dude from Split. 1 minute he's a 5-year-old boy. The next minute he's a girl named Patricia from England. Like, just which one's going to throw better? Probably Patricia from England. But let's go ahead and get to 5 big questions.
Let's get to 5 big questions. Ask the Booster Club in there which 3 teams they want us to break down and recap the spring practices from next.
And in the comments, tell us.
Hey, look, we're going to be doing this all spring practice. All right, 5 big questions. Shohei Ohtani last night struck out his Angels teammate Mike Trout to propel Japan to a 3-2 victory over the USA in the World Baseball Classic. My question is does this perfectly encapsulate Mike Trout's career, a generational talent who just can't win in the biggest moments?
Well, at least this time with Japan, we saw it coming.
It is a day that will live in infamy.
Yeah, he saw it coming. Mike Trout, y'all winning nothing at the Angels.
Oh, God.
Right, nothing at the Angels. We can't beat Japan in baseball. Are you guys serious? I'm not asking you, this isn't a, sushi making contest. It's baseball. How can we not? I don't get that. We scored 2 runs.
Well, look, I know we can beat them in one thing.
Yeah, look, Shohei, here's my thing with Shohei. Shohei is a dog, an absolute dog. We know that, all right? But we got enough talent and depth to be able to beat Japan. You ever seen the Little League World Series? Why can't y'all do what they did? We got to send a bunch of little kids from Tennessee over there to beat them? But Mike Trout, again, he is the best player that has accomplished nothing. That's what he is. He is the best Major League Baseball player that has accomplished nothing. At least Dan Marino got there in the NFL, At least in the NBA, we've seen some stars get there. Chris Paul's at least given himself a chance to get there. Mike Trout, and it's not all his fault. The way the Angels organization, has been, they've run it into the dirt. Now you're looking at trying to move Mike Trout and keep Shohei Ohtani. But again, bro, you had a chance to be Mel Gibson from the Patriot, and you ended up being Benedict Arnold, man. And look, 102 in the dirt, then a slide piece. That's tough. But guess what? You know what else is tough? Winning the Revolutionary War, winning World War I, winning World War II. Hit a slider.
So, Blaine, what does Mike Trout need to do? I know you want him to go to the Yankees. If he goes to the Yankees or the Dodgers or some team like that, Astros, wins a couple World Series, is this whole thing different moving forward?
Yeah. Well, Mike, it gets to a point where, what are all the best do? To a certain extent, go join a really good team. Let's go do it. Why not? I think Shohei proved he's the best player in baseball.
Oh,
right now. I mean, hands down. But if you're the Angels right now, I'm building around Shohei. Mike's in the latter of his career. If I'm Mike, I'm going to a team in a roster right now. I can go and win now. That's what I'm doing. But I will never get mad at somebody, especially when you're having to hit against that guy.
No, I want to hear it.
That's like, look, you're seeing 102 in a slide piece.
Well, that was
I get it. Well, I get mad over the whole 9 innings, but I don't think it comes down to a last at bat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what. But at the end of the day, I think Japan takes baseball way more serious than we do. I think like in any other sport, we'd kill them. Like we played Japan in basketball, wouldn't even be close. Football wouldn't even be close. Baseball's their thing. That's fine. We lose by 1 run. Am I mad? No. Am I disappointed?
You're what's wrong with America now.
Of course,
the weakness. So we accept losing now. That's the problem.
That is true. At least that was a nasty pitch, and he swung at it, and you're out. Makes it easy. I have a pitch here that was called strike. Can you please bring up this called strike from last week? I've wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. Is this the worst called strike you've seen? You played a lot of baseball. You've been at that plate a lot of times, Jake. Is this the worst called strike you've ever seen?
This is as bad as I've ever seen. If you haven't seen this is Mississippi Valley State against New Orleans. Mississippi Valley State they're the visitor. It's the top of the 9th. There's 2 strikes. It's a 1-1 count. There's 2 outs. New Orleans is up 7-3. There is nobody on base. If you're on audio, if you get a chance, click over to YouTube and watch, because this is college baseball. This isn't 8-year-olds. But even in 8-year-olds, this is despicable. Let's play.
There's 2 pitches here.
Yep. Let's play the first one.
But that's a big gamble to take in the 9th.
Ball. That one's bad enough.
That's a ball, but I can understand in some
that one's bad enough
that you could call that a strike.
Like, don't do that, because you do that, now something crazy.
Now watch this. He calls
That's on purpose, man.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, it's on purpose.
Okay, that ball was at least 2 feet. Listen to the announcer.
Run that last pitch back.
Yeah, run it again. You can even see the guys in the dugout of the team that won laughing after this pitch gets called. Let's show it one more time where this is. You could scoot the batter's box over a foot to the right, and this would still be a ball. Go ahead and play it. So we got the 1-2 pitch.
Look at that.
I mean,
that would hit you.
Here's my thing.
Batter.
Here's my thing. This is college baseball. You're an umpire. You get paid to do this at a high level. All right, this is a high level. This is Division I baseball. It is a 7-3 game in the 9th. The guy showed you up the pitch before, and I didn't watch the game before. I don't know if he was giving him that much. That first pitch was a ball, but in some world, I can understand why you called that first one a strike. Now, the batter did show the umpire up, but this is college baseball. And if you're going to show an umpire up, and then an umpire gives the pitcher maybe a couple inches to the outside or something like that, okay, I can get it. Not that, though. That is agreed. That would have hit a left-handed batter. That is beneath the game of college baseball, the level of college baseball. That is beneath every umpire that has ever umpired a game that is worth his salt, and that is beneath the sport in general. That guy got taken away from the series, but you should be fired. You should be fired. And if I'm the player in the box, I'm getting thrown out. Game's over. You're still going to have to throw me out. If I'm the coach, not only am I getting thrown out, I'm calling the head of the umpire officials. I am emailing. We are doing whatever we can to get this guy fired, because regardless of what the player did, that is unacceptable on every single level, and it's beneath the sport, and it's beneath the people who play the sport.
Pretty sure the umpire got suspended indefinitely.
Should have, yeah.
So he's not going to be umping anymore.
That's a start.
Yeah, that's a start, obviously. But this kind of goes back to what we were saying, the way that umpires use their emotions kind of take over the game. Mm-hmm. They're a lot more entitled than what they think they are. So a couple things here, and you kind of hit it on the point. One, you never show an umpire up. You never show an umpire up, especially the one behind the plate, because things aren't going to go your way, and then something's going to happen that you're not going to like. I'm not making any excuses for this umpire or what he did at the end, but one thing you learn going through baseball, one, you don't act like that when he calls a strike, you jump out of the batter's box, and then you put the bat where the ball crossed the plate. You just don't do that. The umpire should be suspended for sure, but the guy at the plate was wrong in doing that after that third pitch.
That's not a missed call, though. You know, the first one I think was a missed call, and you can get by missed calls. That one was intentional, based off what you're saying. You have to be fired.
For sure.
Maybe suspended indefinitely means that now. Just come out and say you fired the guy. He can't umpire baseball.
Yeah, but I think
he's obviously a child.
I think there's lessons to learn on both sides here.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, look, again, this is college baseball. This isn't high school. This isn't Little League. You're not dealing with some camp counselor in a 12-year-old travel ball tournament that happens to umpire the baseball games. These guys are paid. They are treated professionally. That they are given every avenue to be treated like a professional umpire. If you're an umpire, you're supposed to be in control of the game. You're supposed to be above all the things. Who gives the warnings when two guys are about to fight? The umpire does. Why does he do that? He is the official. He is the person that should be above reproach and above emotion. So to me, if I go order something from McDonald's and you give me the wrong thing, or you put pickles on there and I didn't want pickles, I want to send my food back. If I don't think it's a strike, I'm going to let you know I don't think it's a strike sometimes. And just because I put my bat where the ball crossed doesn't mean that I'm calling you an idiot. I'm showing you what I saw. It's just like when a player turns around after a called strike, looks at the umpire and asks him, why was that a strike? And then the umpire explains it to him. All right, he's asked him what quadrant of the plate did that hit, I guess, or what part of the strike zone did that hit for it to be a strike. It's a little bit of the same thing. But to go from that reaction from the player to that action by the umpire is disgraceful. And he will never and should never umpire a game again.
I want to get to one more here before we do Get Off My Lawn, because Buffalo Wild Wings is now involved in a class action lawsuit because a man in Chicago reasonably believed the products were actually wings that were deboned when actually they are constituted entirely of chicken wing, or when they're made from the white meat from chicken breast.
You said man, did you mean hero?
He's not a hero.
This
man's not a hero.
David, listen, you've
been on this train.
This is a battle.
What did he think he was eating, Jake?
Some people fight child hunger. Some people fight childhood obesity. I've been fighting the mispronouncing, all right, or misnaming, or dead naming of boneless wings. Boneless wings? Boneless wings are nothing but trans chicken nuggets. And we need to call it like it is. Here he goes. No, we need to call it like it is, okay? There's no such thing as a boneless wing, okay? Those just don't exist. You know what those are? They're chicken nuggets. You can call them chicken tenders. You can call them chicken coins. You can call them chicken thumbs. You know what they're not? Chicken wings. You know what a chicken wing is? It's a flat or a drum. It's where I eat the wing and there's a bone on it. There's in it, on it, somewhere around it. Don't give me chicken. Don't give me a glass of milk and tell me that it's orange juice, man. Boneless wings don't exist. Stop calling them that. Genius marketing move by whoever came up with it. I'll give you credit there. But I hope this man does win money, because that's BS and we need to stop it. Part of the reason I think we have this problem of guys wanting to be girls and girls being, I think it started with boneless wings. I think you could track it back to when boneless wings started to be a thing. When you could go down to a restaurant and say boneless wing, and then they bring you a chicken finger or a chicken nugget, and you have to accept it. You have to accept it. And then you got to look at them and order it. And when you say, I just want these chicken nuggets, they're like, no, it's boneless wings. No, it's a chicken nugget. All right? That's what it is. I'm sorry.
Man, what do you think? I don't know. I don't know. I guess this is one of the great debates up with LeBron and Jordan, and I mean, cold pizza, reheated pizza. Man, at the end of the day, I'm just going to eat wings. I don't care.
Well, then get wings. Get wings.
But, I mean, I don't want to go get a steak and you get a piece of
chicken.
I mean, did they take the? I don't know.
See?
I don't know.
Explain.
It's a wing.
Explain it.
It's a chicken breast. It's a chicken breast. That's
right.
The thing. So it's a tender, like a tenderloin. Chicken tender is short for tenderloin. They don't always name it. Look, are they going to put, also, there's no ham in our hamburger anymore. Or you know what? Our Mountain Dew, it doesn't actually come from the mountain. Where did this guy think the meat was coming from? It's chicken. It's chicken. Just eat it. It's fried, has a lot of sauce on it. It's not good for you. It tastes good. Eat it.
You know how I know
we find everything to complain about.
Well, no. Yeah, again, though. How do you know it's chicken?
This guy said,
I know it's chicken? There's a chicken bone in it when I eat my wing. That's how I know. You can get a chicken breast. I can read it's one thing to read the autopsy.
Okay, there's no bones. There's no bones in the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Huh?
And you know what?
Well,
I don't think they actually invented the chicken sandwich. You know what? Those liars. I'm going to sue Chick-fil-A.
Hey,
not being the first people.
You stay away from Chick-fil-A.
If Chick-fil-A called it a chicken wing sandwich, I would be dying on that hill too. But you know what they say? They say, here's some chicken. We're going to put it on a sandwich. It's a chicken sandwich. That is not false advertising. Boneless wings are trans chicken nuggets. I will scream it till I die.
This man said he would not have purchased them or would have paid significantly less, like he gets to set the menu prices or something. The chain
right.
willfully, falsely, and knowingly misrepresented its boneless wings as actual chicken wings.
He's probably going to win.
God, I hope he does.
He's probably going to win.
I hope he does.
Or at least settle.
One small step for man.
Oh, look, here was Buffalo Wild Wings' response, actually. It's true. Our boneless wings contain all white meat chicken. Our hamburgers contain no ham. And our buffalo wings are 100% buffalo. Or 0% buffalo, I mean.
Yeah, but that's not the point. I know I'm not ordering buffalo when I get buffalo.
How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know?
How do you know that?
Because I've actually had buffalo before.
It's not a buffalo that comes from buffalo. Unless it's a buffalo wing. That's what I heard.
Now you're getting into a whole. Now you're turning it into Interstellar, and I don't like that. Don't put me behind the bookshelf. David.
So you think this man's
Don't put me behind the bookshelf.
Ask the Booster Club. Is this man a hero?
This man's a hero. Not all heroes.
Wish I could make more than one poll.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to CB Dog 4. Want to hop in the Booster Club?
Yeah, we got calls coming up here in 5 minutes. So make sure you're called in and get in line. 1-855-236.
All right, he says Chalupa Batman here looking to team up with David Michigan to protect the trustee and preserve morning sports talk. Thanks for all you guys.
What's his name?
Chalupa Batman.
Chalupa Batman.
Hold on, I have to
what's
write
the other one that
I have
I
a David Michigan origin story I'm working on, so I have to write. I have to write that down.
What is it again?
Is Flaming Dragon in it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Chalupa Batman.
Chalupa Batman.
What a name. Let's go to Malcolm Martin. He says he's going to win this lawsuit, or at least get a settlement similar to the guy who won the Subway lawsuit for Subway's footlongs actually not being a footlong.
Good. Pay for it. Why are you lying to me?
I like that.
Why are you lying?
That's the amount of food. I'm big on the amount of food. Don't lie to me about that. Or if the thing you're ordering is not actually chicken, like if it's just some like blob of disgustingness and you're calling it a chicken.
Gave us in high school?
Chicken.
Well,
that you could get sued
the skinless chicken nugget?
The boneless wings, man. You didn't know you were eating chicken nuggets this whole time?
Dude, look, again.
First of all, why are you ordering the bone-in wings?
Well, yeah, why?
You wanted wing, get the wings.
Well, you know what he looked at? He said, God, man, I love eating chicken wings. It's just dealing with the bone sucks.
I do too.
You look on the menu, boneless chicken wings.
I love them too.
You can get them without the bone, but then you find out they're chicken nuggets, and now you're disappointed, and now your family hates
Did they taste any less good? No.
I don't know, man. There's something about a chicken wing, man.
First of all,
I love them both.
First of all,
Extra fried.
Why aren't you eating at Hooters? That's where you need that. You know, you're at the wrong spot.
You need to go get those Daytona wings.
You won't have these problems.
Yeah, you won't have these problems at all. Get them naked the best way.
All right. Let's go to Cody W. It equals V. You are cool with calling a drumstick a wing, even though it's not actually a wing. Says Jake, you're all mixed up right now.
No. Whoa.
Boom roasted.
Whoa. I didn't say drumstick. All right. Again, when you're getting pieces of the chicken and it's getting cut, we know what the wing is. Okay? We know what a drumstick is. I know what I'm ordering. When I order a boneless wing, I better get a wing that I can see that they abducted the bone out of. I don't know another way to describe it.
But he's saying if you get wings, they'll bring you drums and flats. And you count the drums still as wing. I get it if it's a white meat, dark meat. So if the issue is over white meat, dark meat.
You're getting into the weeds here a little bit, Cody.
Well, look, if you're going to sue somebody, you got to get into the weeds.
Well, again,
the lawyers are going to get into the weeds.
You get into the weeds, but you got to get into the soil.
The lawyers are going down there. You think you're going to sue B-dubs and they're not getting in the soil?
No, good guy. I know they got an army full of lawyers. Got Asian Zing and honey garlic mustard.
All right, let's go to Chief Wahoo, who said it's true. There's no such thing as a boneless wing.
Yeah.
Chief Wahoo, I respect that. I love that. All right, Coney.
All right.
You want to do it before we get on these calls?
I gotta
All right, we're getting the calls in 1 second. Still time to call in. 1-855. Whoa, hold on. Yep, 1-855-236-3228. Burned in the memory bank. Been taking photos all day.
I got some things to say first.
All right. Every Wednesday, we know David, the 83-year-old trapped in the 34-year-old's body. You're on his lawn. Somebody is. And you need to get off of it. David, who's G'ing off your L today?
The National Hockey League needs to get off my lawn.
Get over there.
Being from South Georgia, I'm not a longtime hockey fan, but I'd like to be a consistent one. Unfortunately, the NHL makes that difficult. For starters, I can't watch the games, unless, of course, I pay for 3 separate services, Bally Sports for regional games, ESPN Plus for non-regionals, as well as cable or a streaming service for the primetime slate. And if I pay for all those, I still have to sit through commercials. At least when I pay-per-view a UFC fight, I don't have to see John Cena street dance with a purple cow. Now, some of you have asked me, is Commissioner Gary Bettman really just a plant from the NBA sent to stunt the NHL's growth? I don't know. I'm just trying to see if the Preds clinch the wild card. Can I do that without paying for every service under the planet, or without the NHL constantly having me sit through some LGB-themed pride initiative? I assure you, we can all enjoy a wonderfully inclusive hockey game together without commemorating International Bisexual and Lesbian Visibility Day. And the fact the jerseys of the guys who don't participate in those events sell out the next day shows you hockey executives don't know their fans or don't like their fans. Which brings us to yesterday, when the NHL announced a 10-year uniform deal with Fanatics. If you're not rolling your eyes at that, then you clearly haven't purchased a Fanatics jersey that fell apart after one wash, or bought this awesome New Vork Rangers Islanders shirt. And no, that isn't a cool Phil Pitt Stiegel situation there, okay? That is a mistake. These are the problems that arise when the people in charge of professional hockey don't love professional hockey. You love it. They love money, which is fine. I'm fond of the stuff myself, but don't alienate your core demographic for the sake of growth initiatives such as hockey is for everyone. Let me tell you, hockey is not for everyone. Hockey is for a very specific and slightly insane specimen of human being who straps knives to his shoes, skates around on ice, and runs into other people as hard as he can. That is not for everyone. If what you mean to say is watching hockey is for everyone, then how about make it a little easier for me to do so? And until that happens, here's your 5-minute major. Now skate on off my lawn.
Yes, sir, Coney.
Yes.
Get him out of here.
Yes, godly.
Get on out of here.
You want to see a murder?
What are they doing?
Can I watch hockey?
What are they doing?
Like again,
I'm trying to be a fan.
Yeah, it's hard enough to get people to watch hockey on one service.
See my Preds jersey?
Yeah, man. Look, we got a Savannah Ghost Pirates jersey in here. We're set.
Flyers jersey.
That's the way I look in my life. That was very, very well done.
Well done, Dave.
Very well
It's the truth, man. What are they doing?
That's a good segue to get to calls too.
Gavin called in from Pennsylvania.
Gavin.
I wonder what he thinks.
Brother.
Gavin, what's going on?
Not much. Fan the Flames.
Yes.
My question mainly is with just kind of looking back at last weekend with the national championship for wrestling, Penn State winning their 10th championship in 11 years. How impressive is that, or how do we kind of process that with other kind of sports in mind, other dynasties in mind?
I mean, it's one of the greatest dynasties we've seen. I mean, name me another team in college or in professional sports that has won that many out of that many championships. I mean, again,
even UCLA basketball was 7 consecutive.
Yeah, that is incredible. And look, is it something where everybody is going to just be celebrating in the streets about it? No, because college wrestling, from a popularity standpoint across the country, isn't nearly what college basketball is and other things like that. But I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that's the greatest ever.
Well, this kind of got overshadowed a little bit. I don't know if y'all heard about this situation with the Aaron Brooks situation after he won his match. Kind of came out and kind of said some things about Islam. Muhammad's not a real prophet and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I heard about it. But 10 out of 11 years?
He's wrestling with Islam?
No, well, he's like, Jesus is the only true, religion. Christianity is the only true religion to believe in, and kind of pushed off Islam and Muhammad and all that. So that kind of overshadowed just the absolute dominance that Penn State over 11 years. You won't hear about this. 10 out of 11 years, you win a championship. In any other sport, this might be the greatest dynasty ever.
Yeah, that's unbelievably impressive, Gavin. Thank you for sharing that.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. All right, let's go to Andrew calling in from West Virginia.
Ooh.
Sup, Crane and Co. Country roads take me home.
Oh, for sure. There it is. Dead John Denver.
Also, I'm going to start this first question off with a quick joke. I've got 2. One's college basketball, one's college football related. Anyways, my first question before I joke is Purdue Boilermakers, more like the Purdue Soilermakers, because they spoil the bet in the first round.
Look, that's what they do. Our Matt paints the walls with disappointment.
Also, anyways, first question is thoughts on Fairleigh Dickinson beating Purdue in the first round, and since tomorrow the Sweet 16 starts, who do y'all got making the Final Four and winning it all?
Ooh, yeah. Well, look. Go ahead.
And my second question's a tough one. So similar to my question about the NBA the other day, I heard y'all talking college football earlier. So which team is the greatest college football team of all time in your opinion? That's a tough one, by the way.
So yeah. Well, I'll answer your second one first. I mean, if we're looking at you got Michigan, you got Alabama. I mean, those two. I look at wins and championships.
You talking about program or the greatest single?
I think greatest.
Like which year?
Oh, which year? Okay, man.
We've done a video on this.
Yes, we have. We actually did a video, Andrew, on this, breaking it down. We all had different answers.
I think we had 01 Miami.
Yep. 01 Miami was one.
Like 05 USC.
And then I had what, 09 Bama somewhere?
Either that or 2020 Bama, even though it was a COVID year. And then I think I had 2019 LSU.
I think you had 2019 LSU.
I think is a legitimate argument. Then you have all those, the Nebraska's teams.
Yeah, I think we should treat this like, we do the Pete Maravich record in basketball. Like, after a certain time, once the game changes enough, we need to seal those records just because the game is so different. It's like, adding the three-point line, compared to, when before they didn't have it, trying to look at total points. But the first question, look, am I shocked about anybody beating anybody this year? No, because I watched the college basketball regular season. Like, it was a regular season filled with more parity than I've ever seen. So it's always surprising, but shocked. No, FDU's coach actually went to take over the job at Iona for Rick Pitino, who left to go to St. John's. It's hard not to pick Bama right now to come out of the South, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick San Diego State. I'm going to pick San Diego State. I had San Diego State in my Elite Eight, in my Sweet 16 to play Alabama. In my bracket, I have Alabama beating them, but man, I just got a feeling that the style that San Diego State plays, we'll see. Brandon Miller hasn't been super hot. Then when it comes to the Midwest, I've had Texas this whole time. I know Houston is scary, but I think we all got Texas in the Final Four, don't we?
I think so, yep.
Yeah, we have the same there. And then moving down to the West, man, this is one
That's the most interesting right now.
It is, but I err to Mick Cronin, which is so funny now to Mick's the head coach of UCLA, because the knock on Mick Cronin going from Cincinnati to UCLA was that he couldn't win in the tournament. Now he's one of the best coaches when he gets in the NCAA tournament. It's funny how that script can flip. That's what experience does for you. I'll take UCLA out of that group. Who are y'all going out of that group?
I have UCLA now that Kansas is out, but honestly, Gonzaga, UConn, Arkansas.
I'm going Arkansas.
Flip a coin, man.
Yeah, you could flip a coin. Arkansas.
UConn might be playing the best right now, too.
And this is the one that I surprised everybody with. Out of the East, give me FAU. Give me FAU.
Really?
I think FAU beats Tennessee and then beats Kansas State.
I'm in a really uncomfortable situation here, boys, where I'm having to pull for Michigan State in one of these bracket buster pools that I entered.
Weird.
You're growing.
Hey, cheer on green. Cheer on
Kansas State.
Cheer on green, make some green. That's where I am right now.
Well, I mean, look, if Noel plays like he played against Kentucky, I know in the first half, Kansas State couldn't hit water if they fell out of the boat. I don't think people realize that. It's that second half that really turned it on. Keontae, I want to see in those big moments, Noel versus Tyson Walker. Like, you want to talk about a big-time guard matchup, a shot-making guard matchup when it comes down to it. That's going to be some of the most exciting basketball the whole weekend.
Love it. All right. Thanks so much, Andrew.
Thanks,
Appreciate
buddy.
it, Andrew. All right, let's go to Ed calling in from Texas. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume this is Texas Ed. What's going on, Ed?
Howdy, y'all.
How's it going, man?
Hey, couple of quick things. We were talking about Texas football earlier, so I'll just make a quick comment on that. Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson aren't going to be there this year, but Jonathan Brooks and Jaden Blue are good. They're just going to get better, so we'll be fine there.
Yep. I've got to see them blossom in the way that I saw, Rashawn and then Bijan do. Asking somebody to be Bijan Robinson isn't fair. I'm not saying they have to have another Bijan Robinson, but when you're replacing, an F1 car with a NASCAR, I just got to see it. I got to see it first.
Totally agree. My question is going to be senior quarterbacks that played in Texas last year and what they're going to do this year. I've got three, and if you'll rank them for me.
Go ahead.
Frank Harris from UTSA, Tanner Mordecai that went to Wisconsin, and Donovan Smith that went to Houston.
Man, I'm gonna say, give me Frank Harris first, because you got to look who he's playing against in that conference. And I'm not trying to knock anybody; it's just the truth. We've seen him dominate that conference. The numbers that Frank Harris put up last year, if you watched UTSA, I mean, it was like go watch that North Texas game. It's like a basketball game. I watched it in Evansville, Indiana at a sports book. I'd rank him 1. I'd rank Tanner Mordecai number 2 there at SMU. I loved what I saw from Tanner Mordecai. He's gutsy. He's an underrated runner. He can make all the throws. Is he a little bit reckless at times? Do I think Rhett kind of wanted him to chill out a little bit down the field in certain situations? Yes, but when he had Rashee Rice, I'd throw it up to Rashee Rice too. I mean, he's an NFL wide receiver. So I'd rank Tanner Mordecai the second. I know that Rashee isn't at Wisconsin with him, but I think you're going to see somewhat of an emergence of the Wisconsin offense with Luke Fickell there, who knows how to get guys in place, even though he's a defensive guy. I'm talking about the offensive side of the ball. And then Donovan Smith third. We've got to see it a little bit more. I know what he was able to do at Texas Tech. The talent there. I love the system that he's in. But again, I think all three can have success. I've just seen more of a sample size from the first two.
That's pretty much where I was on par with them all, especially Tanner Mordecai. Being in the SMU system, going to Wisconsin, that's going to be an adjustment there.
Well, it is though. Phil Longo's the OC. Yeah. This isn't going to be the Wisconsin 3 yards in a cloud of dust behind a huge white guy they found somewhere behind a glacier. Like, they're going to actually be somewhat balanced offensively, be able to take advantage from space. Graham Mertz isn't there anymore. He actually went down to Florida. Good luck with that.
And this is the guy calling plays for Drake May last season.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I'd have be expecting a little different flavor ice cream from the Wisconsin offense there, Ed.
Appreciate it, Ed. Thanks so much for calling,
Thanks, buddy. We really appreciate it.
Have a good one, man. All right, let's go to Troy in Oregon. What's going on, Troy?
Troy.
Not a lot. Just deliberating on what kind of call sign I want to use.
Yes. Oh, we didn't get the call sign from Texas Ed. Oh, wait. Did he say howdy? Did he say howdy was his call sign?
I don't know. Or is he Texas Ed?
Ooh, that's
Is that his handle? Yeah, that's his handle. What do you got, Troy?
Troy, what are you going with here?
So I was leaning Screaming Duck, but I don't want to get confused with Flailing Duck. So
that's true. You don't want to get confused. Go with what?
Go with Poster Boy.
Poster Boy? Poster Boy. All right, Troy the Poster Boy.
Yeah, let's bury Flailing Duck. It's not a thing.
No, it is a thing. No, everybody's talking about it.
Poster Boy. I'd be really love it, man.
I'd be really embarrassed. So, Troy, what you got, buddy?
Which franchise from each of the three major sports wastes their talent the most? I kind of have the Blazers being the hometown team of just watching them not ever accomplish anything, but always seem to have decent talent rolling through.
Here's what I'll say. In the NBA, to me, it's the Clippers. In Major League Baseball, it's the Angels. I think we talked about it earlier. I'm not going to say the Yankees or the Dodgers because they've won a bunch of championships. Now, do they waste a lot of talent? Yeah. Do they spend a lot of money to waste a lot of talent? Yeah, but they've also won a lot. So that's and then NFL.
Cowboys?
Maybe, or the Jets. You know, the Cowboys and the Jets both.
Lions? Man, I'm going
the Lions
Cowboys.
And the Browns, to me, I think the Lions and the Browns both is like, to me, the New York Jets and the Dallas Cowboys should be winning more every year, right? So I don't know. I just keep thinking about when are the Jets going to turn that.
My answer is the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It really is.
I agree with that.
What do you think, Troy? What do you think? I know you said Blazers for NBA. Who you got NFL?
The Lions,
okay.
Like, I was born in the 80s, so I haven't ever seen the Cowboys win anything, and they always seem to have talent around.
Yeah, that's.
I guess if you think about the way Barry Sanders' career ended there and Calvin Johnson's, I guess you could just say, like, man, they did have so much talent.
And then you had Stafford. Yeah, just went to the Rams. I mean, you can go down the list. But I'll say this. I don't think they're wasting the ones they got now, and I think they're just adding to it. Like I said, I'm buying the Lions. I am buying the Lions. I never thought those words would come. I'm about to see the Sacramento Kings in the playoff, and I'm buying the Detroit Lions.
And that's good.
It's great.
It's a good
Either
thing.
that or the meteor's coming. Like,
well, that thing's coming.
Which is a bad thing.
That thing's coming. But we appreciate it, Troy, or should I say Poster Boy?
Yeah, Poster Boy. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. All right, Joshua from Oklahoma. Joshua, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Call sign Bacon Eater.
Bacon Eater. Yeah. Good. This is the way.
I'm in a moral quandary because I grew up absolutely loving Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma. But because of scholarships and things, I went to the University of Tulsa. Now, normally, this is a problem since they're far from each other in conferences. but it happens this coming November or September. They're playing each other. So as a fan, what do I wear? Do I wear OU or do I wear TU? I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can't wear both, or that makes you what Tulsa is spelled backwards. Here's what I'll say on that. Which one loved you? Which one loved you back? Which one loved you back? Was it Oklahoma or Tulsa? Who loved you back? Right? Look, everybody wants Carmen, the lecturer, right? Everybody wants Giselle. She's not texting you back. Look, Ariana Grande is not DMing you back on Instagram. Who did, though? Sheila from Tulsa.
He was there.
She was there when it wasn't going. When you needed help.
Yeah.
You put out a call. You put that bottle in the ocean. It gave it right back, and it was from Tulsa. So you know where I'm sitting. I think Golden Hurricane. Do I know what that is? No.
I do.
Do I want to know what it is?
No.
Kinda. Well, Blaine lives a different life than I do. So I would say Tulsa, man. They loved you back.
So you're saying Sheila loves bacon?
Yeah.
Sheila loves bacon.
Does she?
Look, you gotta rep the alma mater, man.
Yeah.
But I'd say maybe you have like an Oklahoma hat or something close by after that win. You can walk out
if
with.
They're not playing each other. It's like anything. Look, when you're in a relationship, looking's for free. Touching's gonna cost you.
It does cost.
So outside, when they're not playing, you can root for Oklahoma. You can root for Tulsa. You can root for the tropics from Flint. But when they're playing each other, Mama called. There's only one Mama.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Mama called from Tulsa.
That's true.
Sounds like a country song.
What do you think, Bacon Eater?
That clears it up. I'll be wearing blue then.
There it is. That's what we do here. We solve
You call in with a moral quandary.
That's exactly right.
We give you advice. That's how this works.
I like this.
You send an invite, we RSVP.
It's like Dr. Phil, but except it doesn't suck.
And we don't have a kid we send to fat camp.
Yeah. I didn't send you to go-kart camp.
Appreciate it, Bacon Eater.
Thanks, Bacon Eater.
Man. All right, Ken from Missouri. Ken, what's the word, man?
Ken.
Hey, guys. As a resident Arizona fan, my code name is Snake Bit.
Snake bit, yes.
Love it.
Yes, Scott. I'm loving this call something was such
This is awesome.
I've had a couple good ones. This is one.
I love it.
So, much like the previous caller, I am also in a moral quandary.
Oh, God.
Yes.
I'm on fire today.
We are here.
I can
for
see
you.
the basket it's going in. What is it?
So, we got rid of Kingsbury. He's setting up another retreat, probably Call of Duty style for Tyler and Aaron next offseason.
In Thailand.
Yeah. So, I'm feeling like Kyler's probably going to skate by again this season just for the fact that he's going to miss so many games. He's going to come in. He's still going to suck. And they're going to go, oh, it's okay. He didn't get a full season. Kid hasn't had a full season the entire time he's been here. So is there a possibility with the next draft class that we actually pick up a quarterback that's going to do something for us?
You talking about next draft class? You talking about not this year, but like 2 years from now?
No. Yeah, 2 years from now.
2 years from now. Nothing would surprise me, man. I mean, here's the thing. You brought in Gannon, who got a job very early in his career, head coach job. I feel like nobody wanted the Cardinals job because of Kyler Murray. Let's call a spade a spade. Why would I want to go work with a guy that never makes it through a season and causes problems off the season to the point where you got to put a clause in the contract for him to work hard, to prepare the way that you have to? I don't care how good of an athlete you are. You're not going to just out-athlete everybody in the NFL. So you went and got a young head coach. I don't think this is going to work with Gannon. I think Gannon's going to be there probably 2 years. And when the Gannon experiment ends, the Kyler Murray experiment ends. Because you are not going to get a head coach that can actually win at a high level to go with Kyler Murray right now. And after 2 years of failure and him, missing a little bit of next year because of an injury and who knows what's going to happen in the future, I would not be shocked if Kyler Murray was playing baseball in 3-4 years, to be honest with you.
Man, that's an interesting projection right there. And I hate it for Cardinals fans because Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury were so intrinsically tied together, right? Like that's why Kyler Murray was drafted, because Cliff Kingsbury got that head coaching job. And I'm not a Kyler Murray believer. You can't have problems on multiple fronts. Like if you're going to be injured, then you can't have an attitude problem, right? If you have to be great and elite at something. Now I know he has elite mobility and escaping the pocket, but I don't know. I just don't see it. If the Cardinals have a really bad year this upcoming season, next year's quarterback class is stacked. And if they have a top 3 pick, why wouldn't you try and shop this guy and get one of those quarterbacks.
And again, it's if somebody will be dumb enough to take him, which I think somebody will. I mean, who knows what the Raiders are going to be doing in a couple of years, even though they just got Jimmy G. No, I would not be shocked if Kyler Murray was not a Cardinal within the next 3 years. Not shocked at all.
You believe in Kyler Murray more?
I do. I do believe in Kyler Murray because I see what I see on the field, and I understand the contract. But Kyler Murray is an extremely good quarterback. Obviously, the injury is going to harp him a little bit. I want to see how he moves after the injury, but you go back and look at the stats. I mean, now Hop's gone. So I don't know if Kyler would be a quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals, but Kyler will be a quarterback of an NFL team. I do think he's that elite of a talent. When you go back and look at the stats of what he can do in the pocket, I know height's obviously a question, but I do think Kyler Murray, it depends on where you're going to end up in this draft in 2024.
If you have a top 2 pick.
A top 2 pick. Okay, if you have an option to get Caleb Williams or Drake May.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. But if you have to fall down to the KJ Jeffersons or the Spencer Radlers or the Bo Nixes or the Michael Penix Juniors, I don't know. I wouldn't trust that, to be honest. I trust it more with Kyler Murray. Also, those top 2 quarterbacks, if he's not the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray will be a quarterback of an NFL team.
Yeah.
So no baseball for you?
No.
No, I think he's going to be swinging that bat, helping us beat Japan in about 4 or 5 years.
Well, it's nice to have multiple options to play professional sports in 2 different ones.
Yeah, that's what makes it sad, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like he's literally Bo Jackson-esque, like that talented.
We appreciate it, Ken. Thanks so much, man.
Enjoy Missouri.
All right, last one here quickly. We're going to Anthony in Tennessee. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, guys. 2 Eagles here.
Nice.
Eagles.
Good call.
Unlike a couple of my other brothers previously called that are in the trust tree, I am not in a moral quandary. I have both feet firmly planted, and I have drawn a line in the sand.
Good.
Yes, you have.
Boneless wings are not wings.
Yes.
They should barely even be considered food. And I adore the creator of boneless wings. No points. And I wish God to have mercy on his soul.
Okay, so you don't like chicken nuggets or chicken tenders?
Yeah,
is it the actual food you don't like or the naming of them boneless wings?
You don't have to answer that, Anthony.
No, we need details. We're getting in the box.
You've said enough.
It's both. So you won't eat a chicken tender.
If I want a fancy chicken nugget, I'll just go to Wendy's.
Yes.
Okay? I'm not going to pay money for some extra breading, and some sauce.
Boneless are more expensive than regular wings.
You did draw a line in the sand, and guess what? I'm on the same side of that line as you.
Well, look, you got to take a stance, and that much I do appreciate.
This is a great argument. People who eat boneless wings probably also put ketchup on their steak. So.
Yeah, well, look, we need to understand 2 things. One, this could start a war, but we're probably about to lose our democracy because of a porn star. So it's 2023, dog. Let's get into it. Choose your side.
Oh man.
Yeah, but so I know that I have baseball in my bones and on my brain because the other night I had a dream that I ran into Rafael Belliard at an Academy Sports.
I haven't heard that name in forever. You know a name I hadn't heard in forever the other day? Until the other day, Rafael Furcal.
Yeah, Rafael Furcal.
Dude. You remember our boy for the Braves? Laser beam. Laser beam across the infield. And skating. Yes, he was a freak.
What a dream.
But, I haven't thought about Belliard in at least a decade, at least. It was really weird. But, I'm super pumped. Obviously a big Braves fan and kind of interested to see how some of their individuals perform. I thought
we need some quick details though on the dream.
Down to AAA, but
yeah, the Vaughn Grissom thing. I'm going to trust Alex Anthopoulos. All right, the guy who just won us a World Series that is locked up. I saw these Braves fans trying to tell Alex Anthopoulos what to do. How about you do this? How about you shut up and just let one of the best GMs in the game? You think he's like, hey, guess what? Let's put the worst shortstop out. This isn't like politics where they're like, hey, let's go dumber. I think we can go dumber. Like, no. The best player, he wants the best player to play. I trust Alex Anthopoulos. I
do too.
Yep.
I don't trust him.
Yeah, so do I.
Shut up, Blaine.
I'm fine with Arcia or whoever, they decide to put in there. Give Arcia or
look.
Grissom a little more time.
If we're choosing between guys with last names Arcia and Grissom in baseball, I feel great about it either way.
Anthony, how'd the dream end up? Was it a good dream?
It was a good dream because I was taking my boys to get some baseball gear and everything, even though, like I mentioned in my previous call to you guys, they colluded and all decided not to play baseball this year, but maybe in the fall.
Colluded.
But yeah, bought a bunch of gear, and it's always fun to get, the smell of a new glove and swinging a new bat.
With that shaving cream on it in the oven.
Like breaking in a new glove.
But man, two Eagles, we appreciate it as usual, man. Tell the little Eagles we said what's up.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
Love it.
Good stuff, guys.
That's it, boys.
All right, I'm going to go over to the board as we're running out of time on this Wednesday. Man, time flies when you're having fun and solving moral quandaries, huh? All right. Last night, craziness. I gave up. All right. I had that parlay of Eastern Kentucky and Southern Utah. Had it like over 157. I look, there's 8 minutes to go. It's like 48-45. I look at, Reed, tell her I love her, and I'm upset and stuff. And then all of a sudden, hour goes by, hour and a half goes by. I'm watching some NIT. Look at my phone. They're in double overtime. It's like 98-97. And then I had the over Oklahoma State and North Texas at 124. Dog, there's like 8 minutes to go in the first half. It's like 13-9. So I'm like, well, this isn't going to hit. Goes into overtime. Final score 65-59, which together makes 124. It was a push. And then I had the under for Radford and Charlotte. All right? With all those combined, that was plus 611. But since one of the legs tied, it knocked it down to 413. But it's huge because I lost my other bet, so we picked up 3 units last night. Excited about that. So we're going back to the well. Tonight, give me Cincinnati money line. This is us. Charlotte money line. And give me Charlotte and Eastern Kentucky over 138, guys. That's going off at plus 442. If I'm going to make a run at the end of the month, damn it, it starts now. My second bet, Vanderbilt money line. Trust stack tonight. Really trust stack that. Big trust. Vandy money line. And then Cincy money line. It's a double up. That's at plus 264. If we hit both of them, I will send money to one of those Sarah McLachlan commercials.
No, you won't.
I'll think about it.
I went 0-2 last night. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to take the Avs money line minus 115. And then how about the Coyotes plus 2.5 goals? And I want the full game over at 4.5 goals there. That's plus 110.
Another good day yesterday. Went 0-2. Pretty excited about that. Not only went 0-2, but the country that I live in let me down.
Yeah,
that makes it hurt even worse.
worst.
So I'm going to go back to the NBA so I can do mediocre. Give me the Houston Rockets plus 13.5. Definitely not going to hit. Have no trust in that. Then give me the 76ers. 76ers minus 2.5 on the road. Joel Embiid, James Harden. James Harden had a terrible last game, so he's probably going to have another terrible because no one believes in that guy except for Jake. So give me the Sixers minus 2.5. Great month. I'm having a great time.
Hey, dude, somebody who is having Ace Cones hit his last 10 bets.
Dude, Ace money.
I mean, this kid is hotter than Katniss Everdeen in the chariot ride to the Hunger Games.
Golly, man.
He wants the Suns money line at minus 115 and the Mavs plus 2. I don't know who the Suns are playing tonight or who the Mavs are playing tonight.
Suns are
man, do I feel good about the way Ace is going this month. But I'm coming. Wow. Look, I'm chasing you down, and I don't mean that in a weird way. This isn't a Jared Fogle situation. All right.
Those won't hit.
Yeah.
All right, couple things here. All right, SGB Trust Tree says, I got thrown out of my son's middle school baseball game last week. Good for you.
Good.
Well done.
As a spectator, for arguing with the umpire about the drop-dead time rule, this was between games, and he threatened to not let the kids play the second game. Here's a clown with who wanted his show of his power.
You're threatening to not let the kids play. Look, man, it's like short people that want to fight all the time. You're not scaring anybody.
Do they have the authority to throw you out of the Little League park?
Yes.
Like, how far do they?
Dude, as someone whose father,
my dad got thrown out of first pitch of a game I was pitching.
Like, where do they?
My dad told an umpire. You got to understand, our father was like 6'2", 230-pound former middle linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah, I feel like if he didn't want to leave,
Like, he told an umpire one time, like in front of God and everybody. This is a middle school baseball game. All right, that I'm playing in. I was in the field. I'm not even hitting. All right, and our pitcher threw, which should have been strike 3, and my dad said something, and the umpire tossed him. So my dad just stands up in the stands, and he goes, "That's fine. I'll meet your ass out in the parking lot later, buddy." And everybody goes, "Ooh." And the umpire, you should have seen the umpire leaving. Like, you'd have thought he had just went to the FBI and turned on a billionaire or something. Like, dropped a dime on him or something. He was out there looking for his life, waiting for his life, and our dad's right there on the tailgate. But
First pitch.
Sometimes they need to be a little afraid.
First pitch I threw.
I may need to scare you into opening that strike zone up a little bit.
All right, let's go to Rolly Season with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Rolly. He says, legs are different than drummies. One flat plus one drummy equals one wing.
There you go. So we're right. It's a broken down part of the wing.
Yeah.
Broken down part of the wing.
Let's go to Kyle Frick with a $5 donation. He says, I want to get back to the bet from the start.
Ooh.
Jake, is the bet FSU wins the 90 versus the field? I will take that bet for the field and parlay with the over on Flaming Dragon Friday.
First off, we're not parlaying that, buddy.
You don't believe.
Yeah, you can put that one down the river and just send it on the raft. I'll say this. I will give you this bet, $100. $100. We'll go $100. And I'll give you odds at, give me FSU at plus 300.
Plus 300?
Plus 300 to the field. Do the math on that.
I wonder what the odds are for FSU.
I'm looking it up.
Ooh,
I know Bama has the best odds, obviously.
Let's look that up, though. This could set the line. I like this. I enjoy this. Now, I'm not going to do bets with everybody, okay, because I don't have that type of money. All
Florida
right.
State plus 2,000.
Plus 2,000?
Plus 300.
Oh, boy.
Sold yourself
Already
a little
locked in now.
He said it. He said it.
Undersold that one a little bit. Yeah, good. Yock the hay. No, we'll figure it out. That'll be a lot of fun. But, all right, Paul. All right.
Thank you. What is better, cold pizza or reheated pizza?
Get off my lawn, cold pizza.
Cone, you go.
Reheated 85% because there's 15% of people out there who just can't get it.
Nah, cold pizza. Give me cold pizza, 62%.
All right. Reheated pizza, 60%.
Y'all are gross.
Cold pizza, 40%.
I can't get. Look, I'll just be
That's actually tight. Yeah, Cone's legitimately mad at y'all. That's
cold pizza.
Yeah.
Pull it out of the fridge and eat it.
There it is. It's amazing.
Like it's
just like all the other stuff in the fridge that you pull out and eat. It's crazy. Make sure you pull out the subscribe button and hit that too. Hit the like button. Follow us on all social medias. Really appreciate the call-ins today as usual. We love doing that. Got Tom Luginbill coming on tomorrow. We're going to be previewing the Sweet 16. Not with Tom Luginbill. We're going to be talking a little football there with Tom Luginbill. But make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Go to the Daily Wire Plus. Check out all the content there. It's fantastic stuff. And like the chances of us not having the perfect answer to your most moralist of quandaries, we're gone.